Hey folks, my name is Nick Drake. I'm the pastor of Richland Baptist Church here in Kingdom City, and I'm standing right outside of our church facility right now. The church building is here on my left, the parsonage is here on my right, the shady front yard, which is pretty much shady all day. That's where we've been having our outdoor worship celebrations the last several weeks, or the last couple weeks over on this side of the building. And kind of our plan over the next 4 weeks is to continue to do these outdoor worship celebrations. And so I wanted to share with you today, why are we doing that? Why did we make that decision? And why are we still having outdoor services when we could move inside? And by the way, the building is open. People are still meeting here for Sunday school. We're still having discipleship groups meet here throughout the week. The bathrooms, of course, are open on Sunday mornings, or the building's open on Sunday mornings. And so people that come to the outdoor service can still go inside if they need to use the restroom or to do other things. And so that's all available. It's not that we've closed down the facilities. It's just that we feel logistically this is the best thing for us to do right now in the midst of everything going on. And so the question is, well, why? Why are we not back inside yet? Why are we still doing outside worship celebrations? Why are we doing that on Sunday mornings rather than meeting in the building? And so I wanted to share a few reasons for that. First of all, of course, we want to do everything for God's glory, right? We want to gather to worship. And so whether we're in a building or whether we're outside, we can still worship God. And so we are gathering to worship Him for the sake of God getting all the glory. And God gets the glory whether we're in a building or whether we're outside, whether we're in our homes, whether we're in a worship center. And so all of this is worship God together in everything that we do as a church. And so I hope that you'll see that's the first and most important thing that we do as a church, is to honor and glorify God. But also, one of the reasons that we've chosen the best way to do that right now is outside is because we want to love our neighbors the best that we can. We want to love one another the best that we can. And the reality is that there's a lot of elderly folks or people that are maybe a little more immune compromised, that maybe have some health concerns right now because there's so much unknown about this coronavirus, that they're more comfortable being outside where they can spread out, and people have the option of remaining in their vehicles and still being able to see people, still being able to worship with us. People can maybe sit a little further back or a little further to the outside, still stay in the shade where it's beautiful, even on a warm day like right now, and I'm standing here in the shade and it feels great. And so to best love our neighbors, to best love those around us, we can do that well outside. We feel like more realistically than we can trying to socially distance in the building and protect those who are maybe a little more concerned right now. I understand there's a lot of people that might be more like me, that you're like, hey, let's just get back to normal. I'm fine being inside. I'm not concerned about this. But are we concerned about those who are concerned? Do we love others enough to, because really the argument to move inside has typically been by folks that are healthy, folks that maybe aren't as concerned about getting sick or the possibility of getting sick, and their argument might be, well, I just want to get back to normal. I want to have air conditioning. I want to be able to have my children go to the nursery, and those things are coming, but we're just not quite there yet. And so we want to respect and honor those who maybe are a little more concerned right now, especially because we don't know all the details of everything with the coronavirus yet. And so it's hard to know how to proceed in a way that is best for everyone. And of course, there's always going to be people that are a little uncomfortable, a little unhappy, no matter what decision we make. But we felt like this was the best decision for the most amount of people, so that we can gather together. Another reason that we're continuing to do it this way for the next 4 weeks, at least into mid-July, is that we can. We can. I mean, this isn't a right and a wrong issue. And so the folks that really would like to go back inside, they're not wrong for wanting to go back inside. The folks that would really like to remain outside and do services as we've been doing, because they're really enjoying it and they're comfortable health-wise, they're not wrong. And so it's not a right and a wrong issue. It's more an issue of logistics, and it's an issue of the realism of how can we do this best for the most amount of people possible to serve them. And so the practicality aspect of it is really important right now, that we just feel like we can gather together as one body and worship together in one assembly. And the best way we can do that all together is in our outside shaded area here on the west side of the building, where we can still worship God together as one family. And so we just feel like, we can do this, weather permitting, we can. Now, I will say, if it does rain, we've been very fortunate, very blessed as we've been doing this for the last several weeks, these outside services, where we haven't had rain. It sprinkled a couple times early on, and then it stopped by the time the service started. God has been very good to answer our prayers for good weather, and it looks like that's going to continue into this Sunday, even with a chance of thunderstorms early in the morning. It's looking like, at least right now, anything could change, that it's going to be another beautiful day on Sunday. But the reality is, if it does rain, if we have thunderstorms or we have bad weather, we'll just move inside, and we'll give people the opportunity still to tune in to our FM transmitter, tune into 91.1 in the parking lot here, and listen to the service if they're not comfortable coming in the building, or also just watch it on Facebook Live if we're able to broadcast that, depending on internet connectivity issues. And so that'll be the possibility if it does rain, but we're hoping for good weather and that we can continue to meet here outside at least for the next 4 weeks, and then we'll kind of make a plan after that. One of the things I would kind of encourage you to think about in the midst of all of this, especially as you say, well, why aren't we back in the building? When are we going to get back to having regular services? Well, what is church? What is church? What does it say about churches all over the world that don't have a building? What does it say about churches in places like West Africa that always meet outside under a shade tree every Sunday because a lot of them don't even have homes, let alone do they have a church building? And so when we gather together, we are being the church. We are worshiping. Church is not closed because church is the body of Christ. Church is the assembly, the gathering of believers in Jesus Christ. And so when we gather together for worship on Sunday morning, when we're outside here, we're still the church, and we are still having a worship celebration, a worship service, whether we're in the building or whether we're outside. That doesn't change. Now, are some comfort levels different? Sure. Are some things, do things feel a little weird? Well, of course, but we are gathered together as the church in worship. And so I really want to encourage you to use that language when you talk with people. I've had people text me or email me, when are you going to have church again? Well, we never have church because the Bible teaches that we are the church. We are the family. Church is not a building. And so we haven't stopped being the church. We've just simply shifted the way we're doing some things for the sake of people's health and for the sake of people's well-being and for the sake of being conducive to the most amount of people so that we can gather together for worship. And so that we feel like right now this is the best way for us to do that. And so logistically, I just want to remind people, when you come on Sunday mornings, if you've been coming, ideally you bring your own lawn chairs, picnic blankets, whatever you prefer. And there's plenty of seating out here in the shade. Even this past Sunday, some people chose to sit in the sun because they were a little chilly in the shade. Most likely that won't be normal most Sundays, but we encourage you to bring. We will have one thing we haven't been doing that we'll make sure we do this week and from this point forward is we will have several chairs out here. So if you don't have lawn chairs, you don't have enough for your whole family, or you forget one or whatever, we will have folding chairs out here that you can grab, and we would just ask you to grab that and put it where you'd like to sit. We won't set chairs up because we want people to kind of sit where they feel comfortable sitting and where they would enjoy sitting so that they can worship and see up front where the praise team is and where I am preaching. And so if you want to stay in your vehicle, the parking lot that's here on the far west side of the building, we're reserving those spots for people that want to stay in their vehicles during the service. And then we've got all the parking in front of the building and all the way down to the east side. We've got the gravel overflow lot. We've got the lower end lot on the east side of the building. All of that's available if you're coming to the service and you're going to sit outside. We would just ask if you're physically able to park down there. Of course, we do still have handicap parking that's right here in front of the building for those who aren't physically able to park as far away. So if you are physically able and you're young enough and healthy enough, we would just ask that you park as far away as possible on the east side and then make the walk up here to the west side of the building so that we can make it the best for the most amount of visitors and elderly that are coming and the handicapped that are coming. And so that's kind of the logistics. We have the service at 10:40 as we've been doing, and we'll continue to do that. That's a good time, and it's shady all the way across the yard here, and so that works well for the logistics of the service. And then the plan going forward, some people said, well, when are we going to get back to normal? As of right now, we have Vacation Bible School that's scheduled for July 19th that week, so that's Sunday through Thursday with the family celebration the following Sunday. And we don't know yet. I mean, we're kind of taking it week by week. We want to really be be conscientious of the health considerations and what the experts are saying, because there's so much unknown right now. But we're not living in fear, and so we are allowing people to come and meet for family groups. For the youth group is still meeting. The adult Sunday school class family groups are meeting. We don't have children's ministry right now, just because right now there's a lot of people that aren't both volunteers and families that are a little uneasy about that. And so we're taking that week by week and just kind of seeing what happens in the coming weeks. But we do hope to still have Vacation Bible School July 19th, and so we'll keep you posted on that. But as of right now, Sunday morning through the second Sunday in July, which I believe is July 12th, we'll meet outside. We'll have these outdoor worship celebrations, weather permitting. If it rains, we'll be inside. And we would just ask you to continue to pray, and please continue to support the decisions of the church, because even if you would prefer to be inside, just recognize that there's a lot of people that are really grateful that we're doing this so that they can continue to come in the midst of the health concerns that they might have because of their personal health. And so we can all still worship together. It's comfortable, it's enjoyable, and we can encourage one another just the same outside as we did inside. And if you were here Sunday, you noticed that at the end of the service, man, there was such even before the service, such incredible fellowship taking place. So many people were, talking and visiting, and I mean, it was several minutes, probably at least 30, 45 minutes after the service, and the people were still out here visiting just because they were enjoying spending time together. And they can keep their distance if they want to do that. Some people weren't. Some people are hugging and doing all that. But if you're comfortable doing that, but a lot of people are just still wanting to kind of keep that distance, so they're able to do that outside and still see people and still worship with people. So thank you for those of you who have been praying. Thank you for those of you who have continued to come. If you haven't been coming and it's not for health reasons, maybe you're just using this as an excuse to watch online or whatever, we encourage you to come. We'd love to have you back. Please come and worship with us again. If you're not coming because you still have those health concerns, we obviously understand that. And there are some who have been coming for that reason and remaining in their vehicles, keeping the windows shut, just listening on the FM transmitter, even running their vehicles for the air conditioning, and that's fine. We totally understand that everybody's kind of in a different place right now, and we want to respect that, and we are looking forward to worship regardless of how many people are here, but we're thankful for the great turnout we've had. So thanks for watching today. If you have any questions, comment below on the video here, send us a message on Facebook or email, and let us know how we can walk alongside you. We're eager to know just kind of people's thoughts right now in the midst of all this. We've been talking to people that are here, but some of you that aren't coming, maybe let us know, is there something we could do to better serve you from a distance, or something we could do to make you feel more comfortable coming on Sunday morning? And so let's worship together. Let's continue to be the church. Have a great day. God bless you.